Welcome, and thanks for joining us again for this week's edition of Just Ask Freeman with Freeman Owen Jr. Of course, he's the creator and still CEO of Financial Sources, Inc. I'm Rebecca Powers, and just for our new viewers, I want to tell them I was a news anchor for 20 years, and then I became really an investigative reporter during that time. So my role here is really as a consumer advocate to educate and empower, and that's why I love doing the show with you.
Oh, why, thank you so much.
Because you've been married 50 years, you've had this business for almost 50 years, your wonderful grandson, Sean's going to be joining you soon.
Yes.
You say over and over, everything in this world is about knowledge.
Yeah, knowledge is power. You know, when it's used, if it's applied, and, that reminds me when my parents would say, Freeman, when I was a kid, get your education.
Yes.
Get your education. My parents, my father, blue-collar worker, steel worker. I got to share this short story before I hit the continuation of Social Security, because we're going to talk about paying the bills and potential source of retirement income.
Yes.
But I got to share this personal story. My father said, Freeman, what you want to do? 16 years old, 17. I thought about it. I said, well, I don't know yet. Maybe I don't know. He said, well, here's your choices. You're going to work in a steel mill. You can go in the military, or you can go to school. So I looked at him and I said, well, your hands are rough. You get up every morning and go to that steel mill. My hands, I can't handle that, Dad. And the military, he said, I want you to get an education. I said, well, I'll go to school. He said, well, if you have an education, no one can ever take that knowledge from you.
That's right. So
I followed that rule. And here's I asked my father, I said, I have his face. I looked right at him. I said, Dad, you're going to take care of it, aren't you? He said, no, you're going to get a full ride. He told me I was going to.
You're going to take care of it.
You're going to take care of that. So when you educate the consumer out here, and you provide financial literacy that is so potent and so apropos to the client's needs, their concern. Freeman, will I have enough money in at 65 at age 90? We plan long term. We plan on not using Social Security. And I'll make this transition into just for retirement, but we have to supplement our Social Security. So let me break it down to paying the bills and potential sources that supplement our Social Security benefits. Okay. Now, there's a lot of folks that just rely on Social Security benefits, and that's all they have. There's no pension. They never contribute to a 401k, or if they worked in the federal system, they never contribute to the thrift savings plan, or just any type of tax qualified plans. There's only a few industries, single digit, that even offer a pension today.
Right.
All righty. So let's look at how Social Security is looked at. Okay. And again, I go back to having a Social Security report. Now, let's say there's pensions. All right, that's nice. In some industries, like the federal government, maybe some areas of private sector, state and local governments, law enforcement, firefighters, some unions offer a pension, but it's single digit.
Yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of the folks, again, I say, we're not privy to financial literacy.
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier in one of our earlier shows that the 401k, with the advent of the 401k, we just thrust into an employer-sponsored retirement account. We got to think about how the distribution is done in order to supplement Social Security. So pensions are designed such that either you get a single payout, you usually contribute 7% of your income to have a pension when you separate from service. Now, I want to go somewhere with this. I've heard people say, if you offered a safe money product that provides guaranteed income, like an annuity.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not selling any products or anything, but what I want to say is, I tell them, I say, now, do you know that your pension is actually an annuity?
Exactly.
It can be a payout with joint. Well, the pension can be such that there's a survivor benefit in which you pay for. Rebecca, suppose you only got one check and you die.
Yeah. What happens to the rest of it?
No payout.
No payout.
I've seen some of the options that are offered to some employees that are beginning to separate either from the private sector. They have what we call life only.
Gotcha.
Okay. Or they have life and period certain. Some, in other words, they receive a lifetime income for a specified period of time for a beneficiary and they drop off. So here comes Social Security. Again, I want to emphasize Social Security benefits are supplemented by income producing assets. If you have a pension, good. If you have any other work or income producing activities, okay, other than a pension plan, working part-time, using retirement savings and investments, what did they do? Supplement your Social Security benefits. Yeah. And you got to know how to take the distribution from retirement savings and the various income producing assets. That's why I say now, again, if you have $250,000, $500,000 or $1 million plus in these employer sponsored retirement accounts, or you have accounts that have that type of money subject to what? Market risk. Right. Now you have to worry about credit risk as well.
And you need to protect the money that you've earned.
Exactly. And know how to utilize those funds to supplement your Social Security benefits. So it's like, I always say that when I talk to clients that come into the office, I say, now, this is retirement planning.
Yes.
This is a process. Not, and I've done this on shows, here, buy, die.
Sign here.
Sign up.
Sign here. Just sign right here. It's a relationship.
It's the relationship and a process.
Yes.
And the client knows, when I've said on the show, just ask Freeman. When they get there, Freeman, I got some questions to ask. They have to they buy me because they want to know my background, etc. But they have questions, and I answer those questions, and I say, now, this is a process.
Right.
It's going to take several visits because we're going to gather information relevant to supplementing Social Security. We're going to determine a budget, big ticket items. Are you going to purchase that? Credit card debt. We look at finances.
The big picture.
The big picture.
You have to know where you're going.
Exactly.
Speaking of where you're going, we need to take a very, very short break. Use this time to give us a call, please. You can also aim your phone camera at that QR code. And the first few meetings really are no obligation at all, no cost at all. And our promise is you will never be sold anything. There's never any pressure. The point is to educate and empower, and you can always just ask Freeman. Stay with us.
The work never seems to end until the day it finally does. After nearly a lifetime on the job, you should be rewarded for all the time you spent working. Whether that's crossing off items on your bucket list, learning a new passion, or rekindling the love of an old one. After all, life isn't over when you stop working. It's the start of an all-new chapter, the one where you're the writer and you get to choose how your story will go. A way to achieve that is by having a clear financial plan to sustain your golden years. The biggest fear most retirees have is if they'll have enough money to maintain the lifestyle they've always enjoyed. Having a plan to help protect you against the curveballs life often throws will help to maintain your lifestyle. Call today to get your free written financial plan so you may live every day to the fullest and enjoy the retirement of your dreams.
All right, welcome back. We're going to jump right back into, we're talking about income producing assets. To retire, you need to know where your money is going to come from to pay your bills. So we're talking about income. And once you get to meet them, you'll ask all their wonderful questions and you'll see that income gap. Okay, Susie, you need $3,000 a month. You're about $400 short. And that's kind of how you map out, you reverse engineer their plan.
Exactly. And I ask him, how much can you afford to withdraw each year? Okay, without exhausting your nest egg. Well, folks, if you want to know, just ask Freeman. The clients come to the office and say, I need to know how much I can withdraw so that I do not exhaust my nest egg. Yeah. And I'm telling you folks right here on camera, you want to know how to have a withdrawal so that you do not exhaust your nest egg, how that nest egg withdrawal can supplement your Social Security benefits, how you can have a comfortable retirement, and all that does, it comes from a tax-efficient plan, a Social Security report. That's what I'm offering. Just ask Freeman. Call us at 833-414-7233. Or Rebecca, they can put that camera right there, that QR code, and schedule a consultation, no obligation, no fees, and sit down. Let's talk about how much you can afford to withdraw each year so that you have
enough money to not have to rely on someone else.
So it doesn't run out.
Right. You said something during the commercial break that I've never heard before. You said there's also a certain order in which you should do so. I didn't. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
That's
all
interesting.
Right. Now, order. You know, and I know that we have to take required minimum distributions because everyone might not be able, they might not have the right amount of assets to convert their traditional IRA into a Roth. Now, I won't go into detail, but even there's thresholds on income earned in order to get a Roth. All right, so it's best to take after-tax money first. Distributions from your the assets that are subject to market risk. Monies from banks, credit unions, such that as savings, CDs, money market accounts. Well, money.
Because I'm sorry, you don't want to do that first because you don't want to drain your savings.
Well, see, you want to have savings buckets, but you want to get, let's say, those funds that are subject to market risk. Well, let's take those first.
Sure, okay.
All right, now, let me make sure I got them in the right order. All righty. Let me see. First,
you said take after-tax money first, meaning you've already paid the taxes on it?
Well, no, I'm sorry. Let me back that up because I'm thinking in terms, that's a good question too.
Thank you.
Let's take the RMDs.
Okay.
Okay, that's going to be taxable. Then, because I was talking about Roth conversion being last,
gotcha.
Because tax-free distribution, and I always go backwards.
Okay.
Tax-free distribution, then your required minimum distributions you're going to have to take, so you take some taxes from them. But your after-tax money, you have that for unexpected expenses,
your
various
slush fund,
etc. So I meant to go backwards and into the still
kind of liquidity, I guess.
And you've got to have, just like when you're working, you have unexpected expenses. You're going to have those unexpected expenses when you retire.
And that's why I love your plan, because everything is in writing. Mm-hmm. And it's your perfect scenario. It's all the different ages. But you also put some what ifs. If this happens, we'll do this. If this happens, we'll do that. That's a big part of what you do. Yeah,
that's, I put some what ifs in there. And I'm thinking long term, the long term range. Having monies such that you just cannot run out. Those guaranteed funds coming in month after month, decade after decade. And I've got clients that've been with me. You've seen that 40-something. Yeah. It's 40-something now, 100 people in the time that I've been in this industry.
And their grandchildren now too.
And their grandchildren, and I have the client their children and the grandchildren as clients. So, and I could see some of my clients like 94, 95.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they've been around me 40, 35, 40 years, started with me as what they call a rookie starting out, and had enough faith in me. And we've made various types of investments and adjustments along the way, early on. And now I've helped the children that are retirees.
Amazing.
So that series, I made sure I started with the Roth last, I went back to the RMD, and then income producing assets, because even when you retire, I had the experience where I had to get a new roof. I'm not retired, but it was an unexpected expense.
Yeah, big expense.
Big expense after being in this residence 20 some odd years there. Some of my clients had to get new appliances,
right?
Windows. Well, they did not have to use a credit card, because what we did is we prepared for unexpected expenses even when they were clients and working, and we talked and discussed long-term, hey, we're gonna have these unexpected expenses at 70, maybe they're 65 or 60 now, 75, 80, you always will have them. And something else too, inheritance. This is where, if they're not in, if the benefit, we talked about beneficiaries, the money's you got to make sure that those funds come to the beneficiaries properly, else I call a lawyer in to take care of, they want something that's really sophisticated, like a living trust or a spouse marital trust or something for their kids. I tell them, I say, well, I don't give legal advice, but we can have an attorney that will take care of the inheritance in which you want it to be distributed, the selling of your home, no bickering and backering about estates. No probate, no creditor claims.
And then all of you are working in a beautiful symphony.
That's right.
This hand knows what the other hand is doing. We're going to take a very, very short break. The show is flying by. The number is 833-414-7233. Any questions at all? Do you have a written plan for your retirement and a roadmap to get you there? Stay with us. Just ask Freeman right after this.
That's right.
Unexpected events like a global pandemic can turn our world upside down overnight. They can cause volatile shifts in the market and may cause you to question the confidence in your current retirement plan. As a pre-retiree or retiree, knowing you have a plan that can withstand the worst economic conditions can help you sleep at night. Contact us today for your complimentary review to find out where you stand. Just ask Freeman. Call us at 833-414-7233.
Welcome back. All right, we've all established how important it is to have a written plan for your retirement and all the wonderful pieces that go into that. Inheritance is very important. A lot of people end up in probate, don't they? Because they didn't have the proper things in writing, and then your family misses out, and Uncle Sam gets more, and you can have some bickering, and you don't want that.
No. You know, you can avoid probate with some programs that we have to offer.
Yeah.
You know, folks, how do you feel if the legal system determines the disposition of your assets?
Nobody wants that.
No. Just ask Freeman. Call us at 833-414-7233. Take that camera and hit that QR code, schedule complimentary consultation, learn about how to avoid probate when it comes to your income producing assets, how it is distributed in the order to which you wish, but more tax efficient. As a matter of fact, let me flash my book one more time.
Yes.
The 10 IRA mistakes and how to avoid the tax traps, because a lot of our income will be coming from tax qualified plans. Our next shows, I've got to even elaborate on how with distributions from tax qualified plans and how they correlate with Social Security on the tax side.
Right.
We'll be talking about how Social Security benefits are taxed. That's very, very important. But meanwhile, let me continue on with
inheritance.
Okay. All right. That's a way of which we're paying the bills, and that's one of the many sources or several sources that we'll be using for retirement income. All right. Now, equity in home or business. Now, personally, I don't know whether or not I would want to take the equity out of my home and utilize it for retirement. Equity fluctuates up and down. I wouldn't want to really plan to utilize the equity for retirement income. Maybe if you wish to purchase another home.
Right.
Okay. What they call that, Rebecca, when you...
Like the reverse mortgage.
Well, you don't want that.
Oh, a HELOC.
Well, the
home equity line of credit?
Yeah, you could get that. Downsize is what the word I was thinking
downsizing.
about.
I'm sorry. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But you don't want to try to live off of what you have in your house because you may outlive that.
Yeah, you could. Now, if you downsize, that is, you sell your home, take the equity, and purchase a home, pay it off, okay, and you don't feel like cutting the grass anymore or whatever, then there are 55 plus units in which you could pay out of the equity in your home.
Gotcha.
All right, and minimize the tax bite. As a matter of fact, yeah, the 250,000. Well, it depends. I would have my tax guy talk to you about how to minimize any taxes on the gains that you have.
The capital gains. Gotcha.
Or you could sell part of your business, have a buy-sell agreement with a partner, sell it, and utilize those funds to supplement your Social Security. But there can be less complications when supplementing Social Securities and Social Security benefits and paying your bills. I like a simple way. Not necessarily. A lot of folks don't want the complexity. They want a simple way. Freeman, bring in your experts. If they want estate planning, you need your lawyer. Freeman, I need a good tax guy. I've got an excellent CPA to help there. But when there's retirement planning, what do you do, folks? Just ask Freeman. Call me at 833-414-7233. That QR code, put that camera there, and we'll set up a tax-efficient plan, taking into account of Social Security benefits, and have a Social Security report, taking into account the opportunity now that you can convert any type of partial withdrawal from a traditional IRA to convert to a Roth. Maybe you want it done monthly, a certain piece of take the big elephant in the room, and what you do is say, well, I'll take a certain amount of a partial withdrawal from a traditional IRA and convert it to a Roth. So that can be lined up down the road for you, Rebecca.
Yeah, that's something you might want to do very small increments and for tax reasons. You said the elephant, it reminds me of that great saying, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? Because so many people, I think, are intimidated. Oh, I hate looking at my shoebox. I don't even know where all my paperwork is. I think it's so important for people to realize we've all been in the same boat as you. It's so important to take that first step. It's liberating.
It is. It is, and it's really take pride in myself when folks see this show and say, well, look, man, I like to tap into your bank, your knowledge bank there, to see how you can help me. And it's all about you, folks. Just ask Freeman. You come to see me, it's all about you.
Yes.
People want to know that you care. They don't care what you know. They say, this man cares about me. And you want to know that, folks? Just ask Freeman. You'll see, and you've been in my office and sat down with me.
That's right.
And you see that it's all about the client when it comes to retirement planning, when it comes to financial literacy, when it comes to supplementing your income, your lifetime savings. Just ask Freeman.
And that's why you've been an independent for so long. You could have
Yes.
worked for one of those big skyscrapers,
Oh,
one of
yeah.
those big we call them the big boxes, but you've always wanted to be independent because
That's
it's
right.
about the relationship. And with you said the word products once, I'm not selling anything because you don't have to be beholden to Chevys only sell Chevys, right? They're not going to send you to Ford. You can literally look at every different insurance company,
I can
every
look at all
product.
the companies. Yes.
And it's just what's best. There's no cookie cutter with you. It is, Maybelline, you're my friend. Here's what's going to be best for you.
That's true.
No,
you don't do that. I am contracted with many companies.
Yeah.
And I don't worry about, there's a document says in the contracts of these various companies. And
Yeah.
I show the client. And the best interest, look out for their best interests. That's the best interest rule. It says right there, how am I compensated for my work?
There you go. No hidden fees
No
like
hidden
we've all been hit
fees.
with.
Or the insurance company
Yeah.
compensates me. How simple is that?
It's a fee-based. You're paid. That's it.
That's it. It's no fees I have to that I'm compensated with. I just get a commission, and it makes it very, very simple.
Yes.
And I even show the client the percentage because of the best interest rule. So like I always say, I stay right in my lane. Stay right there. I don't cross over. Just stay right in the lane and serve the clients. I just shared an interview recently with a young man there. He had me on film and on camera, and I just told him, this is something I love to do.
Yeah.
And and I just keep looking at that clock on the wall and just ticking away. All these good things that we have, Rebecca. I thank you so much for being my co-host.
It's my honor.
And your
Thank
expertise.
you.
I really appreciate that. That's what makes this show roll, because I've got a great co-host who has supplemented me or helped me provide a great service to my viewing audience. And like I always say, just ask Freeman. I got to ask Rebecca too.
I swear I'm learning a lot. I might have to take the test and join your grandson and take over.
Tell you. Well, Rebecca closes out. We have had a wonderful time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for all your wonderful information. There's the number again, 833-414-7233. Call us anytime. No question is too small. And look, even if it's a second opinion, you might be right where you need to be, and he'll tell you that as well. Have a wonderful day, and thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next time.